Hey, what's up guys, Brennen will bring you another video. We're going to be talking about the new patches coming out 14.4 right around the corner, and the reason we're going to talk about it is because Fiora is getting nerfed. So let's jump right into it. So we've got all the information now, it's all been released, so we can see everything. First and foremost, let's just jump right into this Fiora nerf. So that's like the main reason that we're making this video, right? So her parry attack speed slow is going down from 50% to 25%. Now this does affect a lot of lanes, a lot of AD lanes. I mean, we were talking Aurelia, Jax, Yone, Yasuo, any ADC like Vayne, top lane. This affects all of those types of lanes. And then also we can just look at the buffs and we can see Jason and Renekton are getting buffed, which we'll look at in a second, which are two other AD lanes that this will be affecting as well. Now, the thing is that this was bound to happen. It was just a matter of time before Fiora did get nerfed. We just have to accept that, right? She's been really strong, really good in season 14. She was really strong in season 13 as well. And it was just a matter of time. And I'll be completely honest with you, this is a best case scenario. It doesn't get much better than this when it comes down to a nerf, because they could have gone a bunch of different directions. They could have targeted her scaling damage. They could have targeted her early game, her laning phase. There's a lot of things they could have done. And they decided to go with the parry instead, which honestly, this is a win when it comes down to a nerf. So this is going to change a few things. And also I did want to show, it's kind of interesting to think about. The last time that Fiora was buffed, I believe was 11.4. Looking at this, so 11.4 was the last time that she was buffed. And we just run down the list. We've got one nerf here. We got 2 nerfs, we've got 3, let's see, bonus AD reduce, that's 4 nerfs, that's 4, and then this will be the 5th one. So this is 5 nerfs in a row, which is kind of crazy, but at the same time, it kind of makes you wonder how strong Fiora really was back in season 11. I guess we kind of forgot about it, myself included, forgot how strong she really was back then. But we're 5 nerfs in a row, 5 nerfs deep, and we're still rocking. The only thing that this is really going to change when I think about it is that any of you WMAX second players, myself included as a WMAX second player, we're going to be going back to EMAX second, and there's a reason for it. EMAX second. Now, when we go WMAX second, it's for the cooldown, right? So that we have it on a lower cooldown. So this doesn't really matter, right? So why would we go EMAX second instead of WMAX? Because we're going to be switching of our play style. So Ravenous Hydra is getting a buff here. The new active benefits from 150% of your lifesteal, which is kind of like they're bringing Gore Drinker back into the game. This is almost as strong as Gore Drinker was, basically. So what we're going to do on Fiora is get rid of WMAX second, go back to EMAX second, and focus on damage. Focus on fighting, damage, dueling, all that stuff. The lifesteal that we get from this is going to be massive, massive. It's basically like Gore Drinker's back in the game. So Ravenous Hydra is already an S tier item. You can go ahead and make that a God tier must-have. Any other Hydra in the game is just not worth it. And that includes Stride Breaker. So this is a Stride Breaker buff, and they changed this to a Tiamat item last patch, 14.3, and I have tried it out. I don't really like it that much. Even into range laners, it doesn't feel that great. And the biggest reason why it doesn't feel that great is because it is a Tiamat item. So they changed it to a Tiamat item. They made it 3,300. You have to choose between this or Ravenous, and I'm going to choose Ravenous every day of the week. Even into range laners, I just don't. If I'm going against range, I'll just run like PTA, Ghost, Ignite, and I'll try to get kills that way and just avoid getting Stride Breaker. And even this buff, it's just move speed. It doesn't matter. The Stride Breaker is not good right now. It's really not. Ravenous Hydra is just become the God tier item, and that's going to be our go-to. Now, when we go back up, let's go ahead and look at these buffs to champions. You got Ahri, Jace, Kai'Sa, Lulu, Renekton, Soraka, Thresh, and Volibear. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. The Jace one's not that bad when we look at it. It's really, it's not too crazy. Jace isn't really that great at the moment. He kind of needed a buff. He does counter Fiora, but at the same time, he's so hard to play that we kind of get away with, you know, going for a coin flip and going for a 1v1 duel against him, and it works out for the most part. Now, the big one here is Renekton. His Q healing is going up, his E cooldown is going down, and his R bonus health is going up. So let's just look at this and throw everything to the side, and we're banning Renekton next patch. I ban Malphite currently. I will be banning Renekton every single game. Renekton's already a pretty tough lane as it is. It's really easy for him to set up ganks for his jungler as well, so he's hard to play into, and he's just a lane bully. He's a really strong early to mid-game champion. He does fall off in the later stages of the game, but how many games do you really go to 30, 40 minutes anyways? Something to think about. So let's not even talk about Renekton. We're just banning him. He just has to be banned next patch. He's way too strong. And if you guys play Renekton, congratulations, because he is going to be very strong. Volibear is another tough one. It's just his movement speed and his eco. It's really, this buff isn't too crazy. I don't even know why they're buffing Volibear, to be honest, but I know that he can give Fiora some trouble in the top lane, but I don't really think that this is going to affect too much. It's more like, it's like 1 second off his E, a little bit of more movement speed on his Q, nothing to be too worried about. We look at nerfs. The only thing that really relates to top lane too much is going to be Alawi, and Maokai's been getting played top lane, and Urgot, so really nice to see. I haven't seen an Alawi in season 14 whatsoever. I don't know about you guys, or if anybody plays Alawi. Is Alawi just terrible this season, or why is she get a nerf? I haven't seen her. I legit have not played against her once, so if any Alawi mains can let me know what's going on with that champion in the comments, please do. Urgot, Hullbreaker, I've read a little bit about it. I think it's just not working on the 5th auto to make it a big boom, but not too sure. I think that they kind of messed it up or something like that, because I've been playing against a few Urgots who have just been rushing Hullbreaker and doing the most insane damage I've ever seen, so this is a good nerf. Maokai is actually he's always just weird. He's a weird champion. Sometimes he's way too strong, so nice to see him get a little bit of a nerf as well. But when we look at this, all I'm going to say, we got Fiora, W, attack speed slow. All AD lanes are going to be a little bit harder. Make sure that we're going Emax second. No Stride Breaker. We're going to be getting Ravenous. Ban Renekton. That's basically the big things that you need to know for patch 14.4. Lethal Tempo nerf doesn't really affect us. And then Black Cleaver buff. I mean, Black Cleaver is okay. It's still a good item, honestly. I still think it's pretty good. But in the grand scheme of things, what we're really looking at is, you know, top lane and Fiora and the difference between that. We do see a little bit of a Cassante change here too. They're basically just making him more of a tank and less of like being able to dash 40 times. So he's got no more slow on his all-out Q, which all-out means his ulti. All-out W no longer has a faster CD time, so it'll be like when he's normal, when he's not in all-out mode. And then the E dash speed is reduced as well, so he just won't be as fast when he's in ult. But he is a little bit tankier. But Fiora kind of shreds this guy, so not too worried about him. Gwen does pretty well into him as well. And another thing too, Gwen's not touched here. None of her items are touched, anything like that, so we don't need to talk about her. But basically, that is the gist of it all. So Fiora, Emax second, ban Renekton, and buy Ravenous Hydra every game in 14.4, and you're going to be all right. It will be a little bit weird into some of these AD laners when the attack speed slow isn't as strong, and we might lose some 1v1s because of it, but I think that after a few games and getting used to it, I think that we'll all adapt and do all right. So that's patch 14.4 coming up, and that's the videos, guys. Hopefully this video will help you out when 14.4 comes along. We are getting nerfed again, but I do think that we're going to be all right. I still think Fiora is going to be in that A tier slot. I mean, she might even still remain S tier. This champion is awesome, so we'll see. But hopefully this helps you guys out. Good luck in your climb in season 14. Until next time, peace out. Love you. Bye-bye.